Hello everyone and welcome to Jank 2.0, the server where we're building the biggest vanilla survival Minecraft game. In the last episode we were very busy building this ghostly structure here. Actually the shaders don't give it any justice, let me just remove those a second. Yes, this big structure here, which is the lobby area for Jank 2.0. Oh, doesn't it look cool? Now you may also notice it's pretty invisible, ooh, and that's because obviously this is just a schematic. We haven't yet built the big structure, but that's what I want to get done today, at least a bit. I want to get started on building this thing. There's quite a lot of blocks that we're going to need. You can see here the list. We need 35,000 mud bricks, 32,000 moss blocks, and so on and so forth. So these are all things that we're going to have to go and collect. So today we're going to be building a series of farms that are going to help us collect a lot of these items. There's 3 farms that I'm going to be building today, which are going to be a wheat farm, a dirt farm, and a mud farm, which we need to make the mud bricks. But I've also started making some modifications to other farms to account for the sheer numbers of stuff that we need. So this is, if you remember, our moss farm. And I've added in some more lines and things that go to these, which are basically automatic shulker filler hoppers. So you can see here we've got 3 different shulkers of moss blocks, and these are slowly being filled the more the farm runs. And at the same time we've got this system here which is collecting bone meal, because we're going to be needing a lot of bone meal for our dirt farm. So these are going to be running for several weeks until we get all of the moss. So I think we need 19 shulker boxes of moss. I don't know how many of bone meal, but that's one big resource sorted. Yeah, moss block accounts for the second most blocks that we need. But mud bricks is the complicated one, because we've got mud bricks, we've got mud brick stairs, we've got mud brick wall, and packed mud as well. And if you put all of these together, it accounts for about 40 shulker boxes worth, which is a lot of material. I've got a load of shulker boxes here. I've gone to the end, collect a load of shulker shells. But yeah, I'm not going to go and collect mud manually to fill 40 shulker boxes. That would be madness. So instead, we're going to be building farms for all the different components. The 2 main ingredients we need are mud and we need wheat. So let's start off with the wheat. Now originally I thought I was going to make the biggest wheat farm ever created on a server, but then Fairy Enderhair, one of my viewers, kindly pointed out that instead I can use an automated wheat farm. Okay, phantoms. And essentially we can get a load of villagers to do it for us. So let's load in a schematic and get started. Okay, I made some good progress. You can see this is kind of the bare bones of the farm. I'm going to have a different village in each sector, each of them tending to their field and then throwing the excess wheat towards a villager here in the middle. So what I need to do now is to get the villagers in, and I've got some bread up over there. Just need to make sure the path is all connected up. Excellent. Right, I need this guy to be a farmer, so I'm going to temporarily break this. Oh, there he is, and then I need to trade with him. Yeah, I'll get some bread. Okay, and now I need to delicately get him into the center there. Yep, okay, he's in the middle, and I need to break the minecart he's on. I'll put it may actually be from somebody else, but the tutorial I've seen is Hermitcraft. So I'll put a link in the description, you can go and check it out. Yeah, I think I did it, yes. Okay, he's in place, so now we just need to get our other villagers in. It is finally update time. I should point out I've got a bit of a cold now. That's why I sound terrible. But I've done a bit of update on our farm. First of all, I made this thing here, which is maybe a problem. It's a new villager breeder that I needed, because I needed to get villagers that didn't have any items in the inventory for that farm. But I've also finished off the farm. So if we go up here, you can see that we've got 4 different areas with 4 different farmers and a farmer in the middle, and these guys are collecting a load of wheat. Once their inventory is full, they come over here and they chuck the wheat to the guy in the middle, and that wheat ends up in these Minecraft hoppers, and then they come down here, through here, and into the system here, and they're slowly filling up the shulker boxes. So we got 2 shulker boxes full of wheat. There's a third one that's going. I will say this has been a very slow process. I think these 2 shulker boxes have taken like 24 hours to fill up. But this is a farm I can leave for the next like 2 weeks to get all the materials we need, and we're never going to be needed again. So it's not the end of the world, but at least it is done. So now we need to move on to the second part of our mud brick making process, and that is this thing here, which isn't built. It's a schematic, but this is a dirt farm. Again, link will be in the description. But yeah, so this big machine here, which I'm not entirely sure how it works, but it should create a whole load of blocks, including dirt. I need to build this next, and the idea is that once we've got the dirt farm created, then we'll be able to make a little farm to turn it into mud, and then we can combine the mud and the wheat to get the mud bricks. I've been collecting some of the materials we need for this farm, although we've still got a few missing. But hey, we may as well do this one in the form of a time lapse. So let's go. It is update time. A lot of progress has happened behind the scenes. The main thing is that we finished our big dirt farm. This big structure here, which was a bit of a pain to build, but you know, it works now. This thing here is pretty cool. So the way it does it, essentially there's a stone farm down there which creates stone. That stone gets pushed upwards, it's then transformed into moss. And then when we plant big spruce trees, that moss is turned into podzol, and when you break the podzol, it drops dirt. So quite convoluted, but it does work. And it's not that slow either. We now have, how many? 11 shulker boxes of dirt. We need about 40. The only thing is it takes obviously bone meal for it to grow the trees, etc. So it does use up quite a lot of bone meal quite quickly. So the bone meal farm over here has been working doubly fast to try and fill up as many shulker boxes of bone meal as it can. These guys over here are actually working, which is great to see. And you can see we've now got 9 shulker boxes of wheat. We need again about 40 of these, so still quite a bit to go. I've also started collecting other materials. I need quite a lot of brown concrete, so I've collected both sand and gravel. Luckily we have a bartering farm, so gravel isn't too tricky. And over here I've started collecting a load of cocoa beans, because we need the brown dye for our brown concrete powder. So I've got about a shulker box there, I need about 2.5. So we are slowly getting there. We've still got quite a bit of resources to get. If we look at our list, mud bricks we're working on. Moss, we've actually got all of it. We've got 19 shulker boxes. That's done. Same mud bricks there, the same as mud bricks. We just need to craft them. The brown concrete powder, we're nearly there. The jungle fence I'm going to have to make. So that's 10 shulker boxes. But we do have a tree farm, so hopefully it shouldn't be that long to do, in theory. Stone we've got plenty of. Jungle trapdoors, as I said, we've got the farm for it. We do need to get some terracotta and some glowstone. Well, I could actually start trading glowstone with the villagers. So we are slowly getting there. There's a few bits and bobs that we'll have to like chase up at the end. Now there's only one last farm that we need to make. And that's the one that kind of takes all these different ingredients and puts them together into one. Because in order to get our mud bricks, we need to get actual mud. So I guess I'll just get that done. And then I can just AFK for the next 10 years. So I've gone mad since that last clip. I've gone absolutely insane. I've built so many farms in the last week or so. I've been trying to collect all these resources for the lobby, and I can't even remember where we left off. I think we just finished doing the tree farm, hadn't we? Sorry, I say tree farm. What I meant was dirt farm. So that's been going on over the last week. I've just been AFK here, constantly putting in loads of bone meal, getting a load of dirt. So that's all good. We got all the dirt we needed. The wheat farm I've actually expanded because one segment was really slow, I actually did 3 more segments, and this thing is now going fairly quickly. I've actually cleared it out, but this had quite a lot of shulker boxes here ready to go. So wheat is solved. I then went bit crazy and made a whole load of other farms. All these things here. I made a honey farm and honeycomb because I did have a load of bees over there, but it was quite tedious to manually collect all these materials. Why not just make a farm? It's much easier. I'm sure I'm going to use it for Jank. Over here we've got a very basic cactus farm because I needed some green dye. Over here, melon and pumpkin farm. I needed some melons for the build, and I figured at some point I'm sure I'm going to need some pumpkins, so I may as well do a farm for that. And then finally, this thing here. So this is our mud converter. This farm here takes some dirt and turns it into mud. It's a really cool design. It uses these walls to update observers, and when a wall kind of changes its shape, the observer updates as a result. It's really cool. It's made me really think about some cool redstone ideas for Jank. But this has been really fantastic. Again, I've been just AFK here for a very long time and have gotten all of the mud that I need. With all of that, and thanks to some villager trading, I've now traded, how many times with villagers? Let's actually have a look. I've traded almost 100,000 times with villagers. That's insane. I now have all of the resources I need to build the lobby. How exciting. Over here we've got some chests with a load of shulker boxes in it. So many shulker boxes. Each of these contains, they're all full, and they all contain all the resources that we need to build this crazy thing here. So I'm actually just about to hop onto a live stream to do some of this building on stream. You may have already seen that, and if you haven't, this is your reminder to go and check that out. The plan is to do some Q&A and just spend some chill time together, just doing a very big build in Minecraft. So let's see how that goes, and then I'll be back to finish off the episode. So the live stream was great. Thank you for everyone who turned out. It was lovely to see so many familiar faces, and we got a bit done. We called it the stairs stream because we basically just got the stairs done to Jank. But since then I've actually been working, and this is what Jank looks like at the moment. Yes, I've made a lot of progress. As you can see, this is a lot of work, let's just say. There's 60 columns that I've made, and there's another 48 to go. I've done all the floor, and I still need to do all the walls and roof and all that kind of stuff. Progress is happening. Progress is actually happening. It feels like I'm getting somewhere, which is crazy. So in the next episode we will be continuing the lobby, hopefully finishing the lobby, and once we've done that we can start working on some levels, which I'm really excited about. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please remember to comment, like and subscribe for my next ones. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!